We have fire. To the coal. Hello, welcome back to another episode from Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. I'm Bill, and today I'm in the beautiful Sierra Nevada mountains. I'm glad you could join me. Today I'm on the hunt for fatwood. Stick with me. Hello, welcome back. I'm in an absolutely beautiful area up here. Give everybody a 360 here. It's so peaceful up here, so quiet. Absolutely beautiful. Here's my trusty war wagon, my rock crawler over there. Okay, so what I have here in front, this is a big downed pine tree. Fatwood, also known as pitchwood, has a variety of uses in bushcrafting. It makes a great fire starter. You can also, you collect enough of it, you can render it down into pine tar. And I will do a video in the future outlining the process of how to do that. I want to go over in this video how and where to find fatwood. The fatwood is predominantly found on pine trees. It can be found to a much lesser degree on spruce, cedar, and fir. Pine is going to be your best bet though. And this, when a pine tree dies, or if there are dead lower branches on a pine tree that are of sufficient diameter, what happens is the sap moves to the heartwood and solidifies, and it becomes resin impregnated wood. And the best place to find it on a down tree, you can try the roots or the stump. One of the easier ways to find it is just all of the lateral branches that come off of the main trunk. I've already cut one here, and you can see the fatwood right here. This is the piece that I cut. This is a really great piece of fatwood here. And you know you're into the fatwood when you smell it. And it has a very strong terpentine smell. This is another small one that I cut a little bit ago. Just a little bit of fatwood here. And it all depends on the branch. Some just go a little bit from the trunk back on the branch, and some can go up to 6 or 8 inches. So I'm going to cut a few more of these off here. I'm going to go ahead and reposition the camera, and I'm going to go ahead and cut a few more of these and see if we can't find some more. Stay tuned. Alright, let's see what this one yields. When you cut it, you want to cut it back as close to the trunk as possible. I can already feel it gumming up my blade. It's pulling on the blade, so that's usually an indicator that there is fatwood here. It appears that there is some there. There's a couple big branches on the other side. This one doesn't Doesn't seem to have a lot. There's a little bit in here. See if we can find some better ones. This one here seems to be pretty sticky, and I can smell the sharp terpentine aroma. You can smell it. There's usually fat wood there. Yeah, there's fat wood here. Yeah, definitely. It's not a bad piece. Let's knock the bark off here and see what we're looking at. I'll go ahead and cut this back here so we get some working room. So you can see here how there's the fat wood here. This is the part that was connected to the trunk, and this is the part I just cut. So no fat wood up on this end. I'm also I'm going to make a video today on a pine bow drill. I'm going to make it from scratch. It's going to be my next video here as soon as I'm done with this. There's a lot of misconceptions about pine as a primitive fire resource. Pine makes a very good primitive fire resource, but if you select the wood too close to the trunk of the tree, it's going to contain too much resin. You have to select it out away from the trunk. Yeah, and there's that. It's definitely fat wood here. It doesn't extend out very far. Every branch is going to be a little bit different, and typically it's the lower branches on the tree that will contain a higher concentration of fat wood. But yeah, that's definitely fat wood there. I'm going to cut a few more, so I'm planning on taking some of this fat wood back. And what I want to do is I'm going to make some ferro rod handles out of the fat wood, and I'm going to do a couple giveaways on the channel here as soon as they're ready to go. And I'll drill a hole in the top part so it'll be a neck lanyard with 550 paracord, enough paracord for a bow drill. Cordage plus the fat wood handle and a 1/2 inch by 5 inch jumbo ferro rod. So look forward to that probably within the next month and a half. As soon as I get some made, I'll I'll go ahead and put together a few as a giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and cut this now, do a little more harvesting, and I'm going to cut out a few pieces for a bow drill here, and that'll be video number 2 today. So I shall return momentarily. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. Still at it. Here's another fallen tree over here. Actually, there's about 2 or 3 or 4, and I just cut this branch off, and see if we can get out here in the light, see if you can see that. It's all fatwood there. Beautiful piece, and it goes all the way through. This is the back end. Whoop. It's the back end of that piece. But that fatwood, and this thing's heavy. You can also tell when there's fatwood in there, because pine is normally a light piece of wood. And this is really heavy. It's really impregnated. It's beautiful. I'm just going to let the camera roll here for a few, and I'm going to try a few more of these branches. Oh yeah, it's fatwood there. I'll cut it back to about here. You can see the difference here. This is the part that was, you're in the shadows here. This was the part that was against the trunk. It's kind of dark here, isn't it? There it is. See all the fatwood, kind of amber colored? And this is the part I just cut. You can still see a little bit of fatwood up here. A little bit right here on the top, that little pie shape. And this is heavy. So I'm going to spend some time up here and collect some, not all for me. Like I said, I'm going to do a giveaway on the channel here, and I know a few people that I'm going to give some fatwood to. Fatwood is a renewable resource in bushcrafting. Nature self-replicates it. It'll never run out. There'll always be there we go, more fatwood. There'll always be fatwood in nature. Fatwood gets a little sticky to cut through. It wants to bind the saw blade up. This is at my workout today. That's the part that was against the trunk. Very heavily impregnated, and this is heavy. And that's the outer piece. Still, I just guesstimated the length. I figured that's about as far as it would go. In the old days, they used to make a torch called a pine knot torch. And what they did with that was, say if we were going to make one, and I'll do a separate video on that in the future, they would cut this here. Say we're going to use this branch. They would cut it here flush. That way you have your fatwood down 2, 3, 4 inches. Cut it back here so you have a handhold, or you can take these lateral branches off and use a longer piece. Split the top of it, put some twigs in to hold the split open, put some tinder in there, get it lit, and it would burn. It was a great torch. You got to be real careful walking through the woods with one of those lit, because the fatwood liquefies and it'll drip off almost like molten lava, and it'll very flammable. If it drips down in pine needles or whatever, you're walking through the woods, you got a forest fire in your hand. So you got to be very mindful of that. It's good around camp. You can take it, sharpen the end, stick it in, you know, around your campfire, or if you have a spot prepared on the ground, so it's not going to catch anything on fire. It's a great primitive torch. I call those a pine knot torch in the old days. I'm cutting this way back here so the tree acts as a helping hand, and I don't have this branch flopping around. Now this is interesting. It's really binding up, so I'm wondering if I cut it a little short here, because it almost acts as though the fatwood is extending further out here. This is really binding up here. Cut it at an angle here. Blade's really binding up in the kerf. Oh yeah, there's fatwood. I probably could have cut it out a little bit further, but this will be the most resinous end, closest to the tree. Kind of going for quality, not quantity. Oh yeah, this is heavy. I'm at a pretty good harvest today. So look at all that fatwood. This piece is really heavy. A piece of pine like this, you can see it. See all that fatwood? That'll make an outstanding ferro rod handle. Whittle it down, shape it up. Drill a hole, sink the rod in, about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, enough so it'll hold, and then drill a hole through the top part with paracord lanyard, neck lanyard. Well, at the risk of boring you guys, I'm going to go ahead and do some more cutting here. I'm going to be up here in these woods a lot this year. I've got so many videos planned. Tons and tons of videos. See how that went through real easy? A little bit of fatwood here, but not a lot. It's a little bit there. Oh yeah, it's a good piece. And that's the outer piece. You can see quite a bit on that. That was up against the trunk. Heard something moving through the woods back behind me. Don't see anything. A bit of deer. piece. Nice impregnated piece. A lot of fat wood in there. Nice heavy solid piece. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the cam right now, and I'll come back and we'll go over the today's haul and wrap the video up. So stay tuned. I shall return. Hey, I'm back. Still collecting some fat wood, a little winded from all the sawing up here in the thin air, but here's another downed pine. The highest concentration of fat wood will be in these lower branches here. I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys down. Let's see what we can find here in these few, and I'm almost done. I got a lot of fat wood here. These will be the lower ones that broke off back here. And I don't see a stump. Not sure exactly where it broke off from. It's interesting. There's a stump nearby. But anyways, let's see what we have here. Not much. No. Light. Sometimes you think you're going to find it there and you don't. This tree may be a dud. Let's try this lower branch here. Nah, I don't think this tree's a good one for fat wood. Not everyone produces. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the camera and head back to the other one I was working on, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I shall return. Hello, welcome back. Had to take a little breather, get some water, and get my wind back. Got a little winded here doing all that sawing. This is the haul for the day. I cut the end off this big one, and this thing is still heavy. There's still a lot of fat wood in this thing. I don't know how far it goes back, but I mean it's really heavy. So I don't have any more sawing left in me today. I'll finish sawing this at another time, and this is the end of that came off there. This thing is, I mean, it's like a brick. That is just, this thing is just solid fat wood. I mean, this is a really, really nice piece here. I mean, this thing probably weighs, I bet it weighs about 3 pounds. Apologize about that. Got a few dirt bikers cruising around up here on the trails. Got some other real nice pieces here. It's another real heavy piece. And this one. And I got a lot of smaller pieces here that are going to be great for ferro rod handles. Some really good ones. Some have a little slight curve to them, kind of ornate. Yeah, give me about a month and a half or so, and I'll run a few giveaways here and there. and we'll run them for about a month. And anybody interested can, I'll leave instructions in there on what to do. Drop a comment down below or whatever, and run it for a month, I guess 30 days, and then I'll draw a name out. And I like to do little things like that. It's fun. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it for you today, even though it was exhausting. It was worth it. I hope you all are having a great day or night, depending on where you are located, and I will see all of you very soon on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.